Hi guys, welcome back to the Storytime Society. As you can see, my little studio slash guest room slash my boyfriend's office is really coming together. We finally got our little pull-out couch, although if you would have seen us struggling to put this thing in the room, for some reason, the way that our new apartment is positioned, there's the smallest little space to get from the living room. I don't even know how to explain it, but there's a thing that protrudes out, and it's such a small space, and then it's such at a weird angle, so we had to take the door off of the hinges to fit this in, but not without literally immense struggle. We actually tried 4 different times to get this couch in, and I'm so happy that we got it in. I really love it. It's so cute and blue, and it's in really good condition for what we got it for. We got it for $250, and he delivered it here. I would say that's a steal. So it came with obviously the pull-out bed. The mattress is in perfect condition. And yeah, my mom's coming this weekend, so all I have to do is buy I'm gonna buy a cute little duvet cover and a nice mattress topper so that she's comfortable. And yeah, it's really coming together. I hung up all my pictures. You can't really see them, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures up right now. And I have to get a rug and a side table, possibly a coffee table. I might get a coffee table. But also today I realized the last couple episodes I haven't been doing my drink of the day, but that's mostly because I've been trying to drink a little bit more water. It hasn't really been turning out that well, but I have Pepsi Zero today in my little fancy cup because I love drinking out of the straw for some reason. It's so satisfying to me. I like to drink my water out of this because I don't know why, but the straw being so smooth, it just gives me a good vibe, so it helps me drink water a little bit more, even though it's such a small little glass. Yeah, so I don't really know what else I have to say. I don't really have much updates other than just decorating my house more and more, and that's really all. But also, if you don't know, I've been uploading true crime episodes as well. On Mondays and Thursdays are going to be the official true crime episodes. So yeah, I'm filming today on Monday, and a true crime episode came out this morning. So if you like true crime, go watch those. And yeah, hopefully I get better over time at doing the true crime videos, because obviously it's such a new type of topic that I'm doing content on. I'm not really used to doing content on something so serious. I'm more used to just being silly goofy on here with you guys. So yeah, I'm trying to find out a way to go about it in the best way possible. But it has been enjoyable because I do like reading true crime stories. So it's I'm just filming myself and reading with you guys. So yeah. But if you haven't already, subscribe, like the video, and I'm just going to remind you that throughout the video, I love when you guys comment and kind of tell your opinion about what you think about the stories. I don't know if I'm too far away and if I should zoom in or if this is a fun angle or not, but we're just gonna try this out for now, and then we'll see how it goes, and I'll adjust for the next episode if I want. Okay. I got a couple comments on a couple of my videos from different people, and they literally say certified yapper, and I'm why do I take that as a compliment though? I would rather be a certified yapper than quiet and boring, you know? Even if I'm just talking about the dumbest shit, I still don't want to be not a certified yapper. Okay. So, sorry, that was the ugliest face ever. We're going to read this story. The title is, Am I the Asshole for Exposing My Friend's Affair to Her Husband? I, female 25, have been friends with Sarah, female 26, since we were in high school. We've been through thick and thin together, and she's practically like a sister to me. Sarah has been married to John, male 28, for 2 years, and they seemed like the perfect couple. I always envied their relationship and hoped to have something like that one day. A few months ago, Sarah started acting strangely. She was secretive, always on her phone, and frequently lying about her whereabouts. I brushed it off as stress from work or maybe something she wasn't ready to share yet, but then I found out the truth. Sarah was having an affair with a coworker, Mark, 30 years old, male 30. I stumbled upon this by accident. One night, Sarah left her phone at my apartment after we had a girls' night. It kept buzzing with messages from Mark, and when I saw the explicit content of their conversation, I felt sick. I confronted Sarah about it the next day. She broke down, admitting everything. She said she didn't love John anymore, but was too scared to leave him because of financial stability and fear of judgment from her family and friends. I tried to convince her to end the affair and either work on her marriage or leave John, honestly. She promised she would, but weeks went by and nothing changed. Sarah continued her affair, and I couldn't stand seeing John being deceived. He was a good guy who genuinely loved her, and he deserved to know the truth. After much internal conflict, I decided to tell John. I met him at a coffee shop, explained everything, and showed him the messages that I had seen. John was devastated, and I felt like the worst person in the world for being the bearer of such terrible news. He thanked me for telling him and said that he would handle it from here. The fallout was massive. John confronted Sarah, and their marriage fell apart. Sarah was furious with me for exposing her secret. She called me a traitor and ended our friendship. Our mutual friends were divided. Some thought I did the right thing, while others believed I had overstepped and ruined lives. Now, months later, Sarah and John are divorced. Sarah moved in with Mark, but their relationship is rocky. John is trying to rebuild his life, but is understandably hurt. As for me, I've lost one of my closest friends and am left questioning if I did the right thing. So, am I the asshole for exposing my friend's affair to her husband? Ooh, that is a sticky situation because I don't think I can say that I would actually tell, like, if it was one of my best friends and she was having an affair, I don't think that I would do that. And maybe that's a bad thing of me and a bad trait of me, but I think that I would, I don't know, because at some point I feel like something's going to end up happening and I would just much rather, like, not be in the middle of that. Although, like, obviously if your friend is having an affair, it's like, and it's so secretive and she's really only staying with him to be financially stable, like, that's obviously not a nice thing at all of the friend. But it is also my friend. Like, I don't think that I'm going to stab her in the back and tell her husband. I think I'm going to keep talking to her and keep, like, I'm probably going to be fighting with her a lot and be like, you need to tell him. Like, you need to tell him. It's getting ridiculous. It's going on too long. And we're probably going to get in a lot of arguments about it. And I'm going to be like, this is not right. Like, I don't want to be friends with someone who is deceiving someone that they are supposed to love so much and have and share, like, a life with, because if you're going to do that to your own husband, like, how are you, like, are you a loyal friend? Like, what are you going to do to me? You know, like, that would make me question her. I don't know, question her, period. Like, that would just make me question her. So I don't know, but I don't think that I would be actually going out of my way to tell him, to be honest. And maybe that makes me a bad person. I don't know, but I feel like I just couldn't do that to my friend. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe, I hate to say that, like, I always say this, obviously, but I hate to say that these, like, the comments help, like, kind of sway my opinion sometimes, but sometimes they don't. Like, sometimes I do stand, like, confident in my opinion, but then sometimes I see comments and I'm like, maybe you're right, you know? Because I feel like that's not bad. You learn from other people, and other people's point of views kind of helps to form your own. Or am I being a follower? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so some of the top comments. You're an asshole for all of these things that I've done. Someone commented that in like quotes, and then ... Shit, wait a minute, that makes no sense. And then people commented back to that. It seems like OP's former friend not only blames OP for the mess she created, but delusionally believes that John would not have found out anyway. It might have taken a little longer, but with how careless Sarah was, he would have figured it out eventually, or someone would have told him. I mean, it's a classic cheater maneuver. What we know about cheaters is that they are selfish and self-serving people who do not care about what they do to others. If they did, they wouldn't cheat. And then someone else commented, others believed I had overstepped and ruined lives. No, the cheating... Oh, not the cheating whore. No, the cheating whore, Sarah, ruined lives. You even gave her a chance to fix it, and you would have kept your mouth... And you would have kept your mouth shut. You didn't even tell her she had to confess, just that she needed to break it off with one of the two men she was involved with. She couldn't even do that. Not the asshole times 1,000. And Sarah needs to take some ownership of her shitty decisions. I can't wait until Mark cheats on her, as she deserves. I don't know. It's like, I still don't feel like I'm thinking in the context of like my best friend. Like my best friend I've been best friends with since like middle school. And I just don't think, like, obviously, I know that that is bad. If she was having an affair, I would be like, girl, what are you doing? Please, like, do something better, you know? You're making very bad choices. But I just don't think that I would go out of my way to be telling her husband. Okay. You're not responsible for Sarah's actions. She's a grown woman who decided to make the choice to cheat on her husband multiple times, so don't look at it as losing a friend. Look at it as losing a lot of weight, because if she was at this point in life where she was willing to hurt someone she loves like that, what else was she capable of doing to the people that she claimed to love? Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying too. Like, obviously, after that, I would be questioning her a lot more. But I still kind of stand by the fact that I don't think I would actually end up telling the husband. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I just couldn't. Maybe I would want to, but I don't think I would ever actually do that. Okay. I feel like you can see my feet, and I feel uncomfortable about that. Also, my boyfriend really wanted me to get my nails done today because he always says I never, like, do stuff to treat myself and that I need to, but I don't know. I just don't feel like sitting at the nail salon. Ew. I hate when I hear noises. You guys know I hate when I hear noises, and it kills me. Okay. Next story. The title is, Would I Be Wrong for Not Going to My Girlfriend's Funeral? I'm too ashamed to really talk about this with anyone I know, so I guess this is my next solution. Here goes. I'm 24 male. My girlfriend, 25 female, died 4 days ago from a car crash. A drunk driver. The drunk driver died on the spot. Girlfriend was in the hospital for 3 days before succumbing, and I was there with her family until the moment she departed from a seizure. I was holding her hand. Her funeral is scheduled for next week, and I'm not really wanting to go. A funeral is all about celebrating one's life. And while I understand I'm not in the mood for any sort of celebration, even if it isn't in that sense, she was my very first girlfriend. We hit our 10-month anniversary just a week before she died. I loved her with all of my heart. We shared countless memories together. She was always so happy and bubbly, and I'll never get to see her smile or hear her beautiful voice or feel her head rested on my beating chest again. The day before she got hit, she was at my place and left an unfinished glass of water on my desk. I haven't moved it since, and honestly don't plan to, as crazy as it sounds. In all honesty, I haven't left the house these past 4 days, and my chest hurts a lot. I feel like going there will make me go crazy. I already had to endure the worst of it by speaking to her unconscious body for days before watching her struggle to death in minutes. Being at a funeral where they'll do a full life story and have many other people crying will probably give me a heart attack. I know funerals are special and you're supposed to attend that of a loved one. I just don't know if I'm strong enough. Okay, I understand not wanting to go, but I feel like in the end, you're going to regret not going and you're going to feel really guilty about not going. And not only that, but I'm sure her family is going to be super upset if you don't go. And like, obviously, it's going to be super hard, but I do think that honestly, the guilt will be even harder to deal with than not going or than going. Like, I feel like, okay, yeah, this is going to be so hard. But it's just a few hours and then you don't have to feel guilty. Like, no matter what, you're going to be so sad. So I don't think the funeral is going to make you like more sad. I think you're probably at the sad capacity at this point, because that is just like a really sad thing to go through. But I don't think that it's worth missing your girlfriend's funeral. I just feel like you are going to regret that, like, no matter what. But let's see what other people are saying. Put a flower in that glass of water. No judgment here. Accept the support of people around you and perhaps speak with her parents. Talk through it with them. Would that help? Take care. And then OP said, yeah, thank you. I was thinking of a tulip since that was her favorite. I'm going to say this and do with it what you will. I think later in life, or even not that much later, you'll regret not going to the funeral to say your final goodbyes. The thing is, you were both young. This won't be a celebration of a long life. This will most likely be a bunch of people mourning her loss and sharing fond memories. You don't have to decide today, but please consider going and at least sitting in the back and get a final chance to say goodbye. And for the love of her and yourself, please seek grief counseling for yourself. I'm so sorry for your loss. I know how bad it hurts right now, but in time it will lessen. You'll always carry her with you, but I promise it gets better and it gets easier with time. There may even be times when you feel like she's there, that she's given you a hug and brought you peace. That's what has happened many times to me with the passing of my loved ones. One minute I'm crying and horribly upset, and the next minute it feels like someone is hugging me. I feel this warmth and sense of peace sweep over me, just like it's my loved one telling me it's okay. I know it sounds stupid, but I swear I've had this feeling many times. Grief is funny. There's no right or wrong way to experience it. While there are stages of grief, they don't actually happen in order. Sometimes it's the first, second, third, and then back to 1 or 2, then skipping to 4, and then back to an earlier number, etc. Grief counseling is so helpful to help one work through all the crazy emotions that go with grief, not to mention the survivor's guilt we carry as well. Sending you big internet hugs. Not me actually tearing up while reading that. I suggest you root a plant cutting in that water. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, actually. I always see those little, like, things. I don't really know, like, how to do that, but that would be, like, such a good idea. Then he could keep it forever. That'd be so sweet. Oh, I feel so bad. Before it starts to wilt, hang it upside down in a cool, dark place. It'll dry out and you can keep it for longer. Watching it fade away might be re-traumatizing. Hey man, I'm going to give you some older guy advice here. As hard as it is, you need to go. This will eat at you for the rest of your life if you don't go. Also, if you don't go for this, you'll fall down this rabbit hole of continuing to back out of hard things, and it'll ruin friendships, future relationships, and family relationships. Don't give it into this depression. I know how hard and difficult it is, but you need to be there for just... Why am I actually stuttering? It is, but you need to be there for her, not just her family, but for you. You need to learn to be strong and not give in to that fear and depression you're feeling right now. There's nothing more hurtful than the what ifs, I should haves, or giving into. reflections we go through in life. It eats us away and causes so much damage to ourselves in our lives. You loved her, right? Then go for that love and don't regret not going. Well, I'm gonna go and actually see. No, nothing else. Oh my God, that's so sad. I feel so sad right now thinking of the fact that this guy is probably like, because this was 3 days ago, and this guy is just like going through every single day having to deal with this. Like, I can't even imagine how bad and how hard that would be. Like, I've like not really lost that many people close to me. Like, in high school, there were like friends that I wasn't really close to that passed away, and like obviously it was still really sad because it's like when you're in high school and you're like kind of in the same group of friends, you still feel like that grief. Obviously it wasn't as like bad as, the close friends, but just like having friends that pass away and just how crazy it is that they're so young. Like, I've had a friend pass away too in a car accident, to suicide, and that was very hard to go to that funeral. It was an open casket, and it was just really like, it was really upsetting. Like, I can still picture the way that she looked, and it was really an upsetting sight to see. And then, like, I haven't really had any family members die other than, like, my grandpa passed away, like, 2 years ago now, I think it would be. And that was hard, but it's, like, at the same time, when you're old, and he also had, like, lung cancer, so he kind of was declining throughout the years, and you kind of, like, expect it. Not to say that it's like, oh, it wasn't even that hard because I was expecting it, but he lived a long life. He was 80 something years old. He was ready to go. Like, he really, like, personally, he felt ready to go. Like, he didn't really want to keep fighting, and I would much rather have him be in a peaceful, pass away peacefully and not suffering. And yeah, so that was definitely hard, but it's so different when it's like someone young. But like, honestly, the hardest thing that I've ever been through with losing someone is I had a best friend in high school, and we were like literally stuck at each other's hips. Like, we were so, like, best friends in high school, and I was also friends with her in middle school, but not like super close. We didn't really become super close until high school. And I honestly, like, I feel like she was like my soulmate friend, but we continued to be friends throughout college. And then I think it was like sophomore year or junior year or something, like I went to school in Florida and she stayed in Iowa to go to school, so I would come back and visit her and stuff, but we kind of started to grow apart after we were separate for so long and nothing like happened. I do remember kind of like being mad at her kind of on like, I think it was like July 4th, and I really wanted her to come out with me and my friends when I was at home in Iowa, but she was with her boyfriend, and I just remember thinking like, oh, she's choosing her boyfriend over me, because I never got to see her, and obviously, like, I really cherished the times that I got to see her, but we didn't really get in, like, it wasn't like we were in a big fight. It was just, like, kind of, like, weird. I was like, okay, like, you know what I mean? It's, like, kind of unsaid, and then you just kind of start to grow apart, but it had been, like, a year and a half, maybe, since I had seen or talked to her. But like I said, we were so close in high school and for like the first 2 years of college, and she passed away from a car accident, and that was probably like one of the hardest things I've gone through so far in my life. And not only that, but it was in COVID, so like her funeral was on Zoom, which was very, like, honestly kind of traumatizing. Watching her funeral, like, on a camera and just, like, seeing her in a casket on a camera, like, I don't know, it just felt so, like, Black Mirror almost. And it was just really sad. And yeah, that was 4 years ago now. And it took me a really long time to, like, not be crying multiple times a week, because for the first, like, 2 years I cried all the time. Every time I would cry multiple times a week, and then, like, it would get less and less, and then every time I would, like, even have one drink, I would just, like, go home and I'd be crying in the shower for, like, hours, like, watching old videos of us. And yeah, it makes me want to cry thinking about it. But I have, like, a little necklace with her ashes in it that her mom gave me, because her and my mom are, like, best friends. And yeah, that was really hard to go through. So I can only imagine what it would feel like to go through that with my boyfriend. Like, oh my God, the way that I would literally not be okay. Even thinking about it makes me, like, want to cry. I would just, I don't even know how I would live, like, to be honest. I don't know. I would have to go to extensive therapy. That would be so traumatizing. Like, I feel so bad. Okay, but on to the next story. This is actually submitted by a member of the Storytime Society, I believe. So we love that. I love when this happens. It's so fun. But yeah, let's read it. It's actually a pretty, like, good length story. It's not too short, it's not too long. Okay. But if you're listening, hi. Okay. Oh my God, my throat. The title is, Am I the asshole for thinking a taxi driver was trying to kidnap me instead of taking me to a job interview? So let's begin with how I, 27 female, ended up in a taxi. Yesterday, I was on my way to arguably one of the most important interviews in my life thus far, and took the subway with 30 minutes of wiggle room. Somebody pulled the emergency brakes, which caused the train to stop, and then once it started moving, would go local. Essentially, this would have made me late for my interview, so I decided to get out the station, hail a taxi, and at least make it to the interview right at the start time. I get out of the station, let the point of contact know what's going on, and hail my taxi. As I'm hailing the taxi, I notice the service light isn't on, but he's pulling closer to the curb before the light changes. While I'm waiting for the light to change, I say a little prayer in my head. God, if you want me to get to this interview, bring this taxi my way. And it worked. I tell him the area I'm going to, he confirms, and I get in the car and the ride begins. As he starts driving, he asks me which highway he should take, and I ask if he has a GPS. He said I don't have a GPS. In hindsight, this is red flag number 1. I honestly thought he was joking, or maybe I was just frazzled about already being late. That's all I could focus on. I check Google Maps on my phone and confirm the highway we can take. At this point, I was due to arrive 5 minutes after the interview start time. No problem, I'm still in contact with the interview point of contact, and she's relaying my ETA to the interviewer. I start getting hot and ask if he can turn on the AC. Red flag number 2, which I felt was wrong immediately. He didn't know how to turn on the air conditioner. He touched a few buttons before he got it on, and then he had a hard time figuring out how to roll the windows up. As we get closer to the general area of where I'm going, he passes his phone to me and tells me, "Can you find the GPS?" Red flag number 3. I was confused, but saw the Waze app right there and put in the interview location address. In comes red flag number 4. As he asked me to figure out how to put the volume up, Red flag number 4, as he asked me to figure out how to put the volume up. So I disconnect the Bluetooth and put the volume up so I can listen along, in addition to looking at Google Maps on my phone. On one hand, I'm noticing these red flags, and on the other, I'm so focused on the interview that I'm like, you know what, just take me to my destination. But he makes a left turn shortly after, despite the GPS saying out loud to stay straight ahead. This left turn gets us off the highway, and when I ask why he did that, he somewhat dismissed what I was saying. No problem. And we starts rerouting to get back on the highway. This adds 8 minutes on the GPS. Even as it's rerouting, I have to tell and beg him to make the right turn on the street we're on as directed by the GPS, but he was still going straight. Eventually, we're back on the highway. A few more minutes pass, and I see a landmark on my right that says we're in the general area my interview is in, and when I look at my Google Maps, there's just a 4-minute drive to my destination. By now, I would have made it there 10 minutes past the start time, but then he makes another wrong turn that gets us on the highway, adds 22 minutes to the commute, and this is when I really start to panic. At that point, I just accept I'm not making the interview and begin to focus on whatever it is that's happening. I ask him if he knows where we're going, how to use Waze, and eventually ask, is this car even yours? He turns around and said, no, it's not. I say out loud, oh my God, who are you? Please pull over. He isn't pulling over. Instead, he's driving around, makes a big circle, and I realize we somehow end up on the same highway. But my Google Maps says 34 minutes to the destination. We somehow got farther. He turned off the meter. At this point, I feel like I'm having a panic attack. Honestly, shaking, hyperventilating, palms sweating, we get off the highway and into an underpass when I open the window and start yelling, help, 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 help. Somehow several people make eye contact with me, but nobody stops. He tells me to calm down. I'm making things worse. I tell him, please just stop the car. I don't know where we are. Then I'm set an angel. Then I'm sent an angel in human form, a man who, in his passenger seat, rolls down his window and asks if I need help. I say yes. He told me this car isn't his and we've been driving around for an hour. The man in the passenger seat yells at him, pull over right now. The taxi driver finally stops. The passenger and driver get out of their car and ask what's going on, and I quickly explain while I dial 911. I see the address, provide it, and explain what's happened. I confirm I'm not injured. They take 15 or so minutes to arrive. During this time, the taxi driver is making a call to somebody, and I'm speaking with the two men that stop. I'm still physically shaken up. I'm like weak in the knees, vibrating. The interview point of contact person calls me, and I explain what's going on, letting her know I'm waiting for the police. Now, when the police come, I explain what happened and let them know the main reason I called is because I want to ensure nobody else goes through this. I'm thinking, as he admitted, that this isn't his car. Turns out it is. The ID matched the car. The police wait for him to drive off and get on the highway to ensure he isn't following me. I made it home safe and sound. Am I the asshole for making a scene? Would I be the asshole for thinking the subway delay, plus whatever that taxi situation was, is a sign that the job simply wasn't meant for me? What the heck? I was getting so stressed reading that because that's actually so stressful. Like the way that I would literally be shitting my pants. But it sounds like maybe it was like, was it a language barrier? Like, was his first language not English? Because it sounds like he didn't really know maybe what you were asking, because otherwise I don't think he would have said that the car wasn't his, right? He probably was just like, because you also said something like that he was saying, he kind of dismissed what you said when the GPS was asking him to go straight, and you asked why he got off the highway, and he said no problem. Like, it sounds like he just didn't understand what you were saying, maybe. But I don't know. I need more. That's so scary, though. Like, you're not the asshole for being terrified. I would have called the police, too. I would have actually been like, I don't even know. What would I have been doing? I've never been in that situation before. Like, I would have probably called my mom and been like, Mom, please help. I probably would have like sprayed my pepper spray at him, and we would have been in a car crash by that point, because I would have been so fucking scared and then not know what to do. I would have been like, I probably would have been definitely I don't know, I guess he wasn't like, was he not talking back? Like, I don't understand. I would have been like, hello, like, can you let me know what's happening? I mean, I guess he's like in control of the car, so that's kind of scary. Like, he could just like kill you at any point, but I would literally be like, hello, can you respond? Otherwise, I'm literally going to call the cops right now, and I'm going to report you, so. But that's really scary. I wonder, like, I want to know, like, what the details were with that. Okay. Obviously, there's no comments on that because that's on our subreddit, which currently only has 130 members, but it's in the link below if you want to join. Okay. Here we go. Here's our next story. Someone actually cross-posted this into the group. So we're going to read it because I love when people contribute to the page. Okay. A drunken revelation destroyed my relationship with my ex-fiance. I'm destroyed by it. Sorry if this is all over the place. It's only been a week since it happened, so this might be all jumbled. I was with my ex-fiance, 31 male, for 4 years. Our wedding was going to be next month. One of his friends is getting married next weekend, and he was in the wedding party. The bachelor party was at a brewery. There were lots of pictures and videos. I, 32 female, am not on any social media, but people we both know saw them. Basically, he kept telling his friends that he hates how competent I am. He admitted to doing things to make my life harder, like putting things on the highest shelves out of my reach or breaking things that I need. He said he does it so I will need him more. That's not even the worst thing he said in my mind. I'm a paramedic, and last week I took the exam to become a tactical paramedic. He said he hopes I fail the exam because it's not fair that my job is more important than his. He works in marketing. I was so nervous about the exam, and he knew how important it was to me. I can't even explain how much it hurt me that he said he hopes I fail. He says he was rambling and he didn't mean it because he was drunk. He said none of it was true, though in some of the videos he went on and on about it. He also repeatedly messaged one of our mutual friends, who wasn't at the brewery, about wanting me to fail. He is blaming it all on the alcohol. Hearing him say over and over that he would sell his soul for me to fail my exam, or he wishes he could stop me being a paramedic at all so his job is more important, was like a gut punch. I don't believe him when he says it's not true and he was just drunk. I feel so stupid for not realizing he was doing little things to make my life harder. Apparently, no one else did either, and everyone thought he was a great boyfriend, but I'm ashamed. I saw his mom a few days ago, and she apologized to me and was embarrassed. She saw the videos, and apparently he also sent several messages to one of his brothers about how he hopes I'm a failure. It is so humiliating for me. I broke up with him, and I've moved out of our apartment. I've been dealing with getting off the lease and canceling all the wedding stuff because he didn't want me to break up with him. I haven't talked to him and probably won't ever again. His friend was having the wedding in a different province, and he still wanted me to go with him to the wedding like everything was fine. I wouldn't be able to look at anyone there in the eye. I feel like a complete idiot. What he said hurt me more than anything else in my life. I feel like I'm drifting. I don't feel like I can even look at anyone I know in the eye. They've all seen the videos and heard what he said. I feel stupid because I thought our relationship was so good. Okay, first of all, thank God you broke up with him. Second of all, thank God you didn't get married to him and you figured this out before you got married. Third of all, him saying that he was drunk doesn't mean anything because, okay, he was drunk and spewing the truth about what he does to you when he's sober. Like, he's not drunk every single time. He's putting something on a higher shelf to make it harder for you or breaking things that you need, which is insane to me. That's like abusive behavior. And that's embarrassing for him, girl. That is not embarrassing for you. The fact that he is doing all those things and saying that he wishes that you fail an exam and he wishes that his job is more important is so embarrassing that he really thinks like he is that big of an ego that he can't even be proud of his own fiance for having a really important job. Like, who cares if your job's not as important? Who cares? If you want your job to be so important, then go become a doctor. Go become a paramedic. Like, what are you doing? What are you saying right now? Maybe just be proud. Like, I don't understand. That's like honestly hard for me to even like comprehend because no one that you're in a relationship with is going to feel this way unless they are literally like, is his penis like this big? I don't understand. Is he trying to, I don't get it. Truly. It doesn't make any sense to me. If anything, like if this were me and my boyfriend, like my boyfriend would be so proud of me. He'd be telling everyone, like, yeah, she's a paramedic, like, this and this. She has this exam this weekend, and she's literally going to pass it, and she's going to become, I don't know what a tactical paramedic is, but he'd be like, yeah, it's so cool, isn't it? He would be telling everyone that, which is what you should have. You should not have someone that is talking so much shit, going out of his way to message people about it, and talking about it in person, like talking about it to everyone. No, that's so embarrassing for him, not for you. Okay, some of the comments. The silver lining here is that you found this out before you married him. You shouldn't feel stupid for trusting the person you love not to fail you. That is 100% on him. He failed, not you. So true. 1 month before the wedding, that was close. Exactly what I was thinking. Sometimes the trust takes itself. Sometimes, why is my tongue not working today? Sometimes the trust takes itself out. OP. Huge bullet dodged, in my opinion. But I get how devastating it must feel to know this person you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with never existed. Exactly. You never had a partner in life. If most of the time he wished you were unsuccessful, his envy will eat him up and eventually will destroy your life. The sooner you found out, the better. Forget him. You will meet a better man. So what he's looking for is like some little like rat. Like, what does he want? He wants someone that's so below him so that he can feel like a bigger, better man. I don't understand. Okay, bro. You have issues. Maybe you should go to therapy and talk about them. You're getting the same chance I got but didn't take. I also found out horrible things about my fiance a month before getting married, but my parents had paid for everything, so I went through with it. I'm still 6 years after our divorce dealing with him constantly trying to steal my identity and get his hands on our kid. You do not have to ever go back or put up with this. You are more free than you realize yet in this moment. Grab it with both hands and run like hell until he's out of view because you are going places and he doesn't deserve to go with you. You know what my mom and dad said after the divorce when I finally told them everything? Why didn't you just tell us? We could have just had a really great party instead. That's love, and this guy isn't capable of it. It's always going to be a competition, not teamwork. You deserve to be supported and celebrated. Yeah, that's the craziest part is I always see these people saying, like, see people on Reddit saying, but it's already paid for. Do I go through with it? What do you mean do you go through with making the biggest commitment of your life just because a party is already paid for? Okay, it's already paid for. Whatever. Like, it's paid for, but you want to spend the rest of your life with a jerkwad? No, you don't, is the answer. So, you should just leave that man in the dust like he deserves to be. It's truly terrifying. Okay. We're going to read this story next. The title is, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Boyfriend That I Don't Ever Want to Have Kids with Him? So let me start by saying I am 26 years old, but I have never in my life felt young. I am a mom. I have 3 kids, ages 6, 5, and 4. I got married when I was 19, and my ex-husband was 29 at the time. Right after I gave birth to my youngest, we separated and later divorced due to his abuse of me. I was scared it would eventually be my babies too. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but it was the best thing for them. So that was 4 years ago, and since then, I have been living pretty decently for myself. Me and my children live in a house in my dream city. I have a wonderful job. I'm a nurse now with my bachelor's degree, and I'm so happy. Happier than I've ever been. I have friends and reconnected with my dad, who my children were never allowed to meet. They love him, and my dad teared up when they called him Pop-Pop for the first time. Anyway, so I recently met this man. Let's call him John. John is 28, very charming, so nice, great job, and was fine with me being a mother, which is very rare for men my age. This was so important to me as my children are the most important things in my life. He himself has 1 child, 7 years old. We have never met each other's children. We decided we would wait 1 year before that. We've been going out for about 10 months already. It's getting closer to the time. And the other day, we were talking about what we think about the future and things like that. The topic of marriage and children came up. I told him I am not opposed to getting married again if it made sense, but I definitely do not want any more children. I explained this because 1, purely the cost. 2, I am tired of being pregnant. I was basically pregnant for 4 years straight and had high-risk pregnancies all 4 times, one resulting in a miscarriage. And 3, my kids are older, and I know it's not uncommon to have siblings 6 to 4 years apart, but I'm done with the baby stage. I just now feel like we are getting out of it. John was very upset. He told me he imagined having a child with the person he married, even if he does already have one. He said it was important to him. I asked him in this scenario, if it is me, that means we will have 5 children, and asked if he was fully prepared for that. He said it's not uncommon and was offended that I suggested that. He ended up telling me that basically not wanting another kid is a deal breaker to him. I said, fine, that really sucks, but I definitely will not be changing my mind. I make really decent money as a nurse, but 5 kids is just so much. He ended the conversation by telling me, I don't know why you care about the money so much when your ex pays you child support anyways. He told me that not wanting a kid with him means that I wasn't that serious in the first place. So am I the asshole for this? Not wanting another kid? Are more kids that important to people who already collectively have 4? Well, what I'm first going to say is that it probably just seems like this relationship is not going to work out if it's really that important to him. And I don't think either side is wrong for the way that they feel. I think you're completely valid for not wanting to have another kid, and you should never be forced into having another kid, like against your will, and just doing it to maybe make the other person happy, because that's no way to bring a child into this world. And frankly, we already have a lot of children in this world that don't have families, so I don't know what that even has to do with it, but there's just a lot of children in the world, and you shouldn't bring one into the world unless you really want it, and you don't. So, and second of all, he also has every right to be, like, stick with the way that he feels, and if he really wants a child and you don't, then it's totally fine if he ends the relationship because of that. I think both sides are completely valid. Also, the fact that you were 19 and your ex-husband was 29 is giving me the heebie-jeebies. That's scary. Like, I know that's legal, but like, what is a 29-year-old doing with a 19-year-old? That sounds like it should be illegal to me. 19? You were literally a child 2 years ago, and he's a grown-ass man. He's almost 30 years old. That's insane to me. Not that it's the girl's fault at all, but this man's, something is wrong with him in that brain of his. Whew. But it sounds like you're really, really happy, and you would be really, really happy without him. And if it's not working, obviously this is a huge issue. Like, something like this is such a big issue. You can't just like be like, oh, fine. You know, it's like, it's not like getting another cat. You can be like, oh, fine, okay, fine, we can have another cat. You know, you're literally going to have a whole other child. And he's probably never going to give that up. And if he did for you, he would resent you. And then if you gave up the fact that you don't want another kid for him, I don't know, you might end up being really happy you had another kid, but you also had really high risk pregnancies, which probably isn't something that you want to get yourself into. Or if you had another kid because just to make him happy, then you might end up resenting him. So it sounds like the best situation in this, although you guys get along really well and you guys really like each other or love each other, I don't know, there's going to be someone else, and you're still so young, and it's going to be okay. So I would say probably just the best thing to do would be to break up, but you're not asking about that. You're asking if you're the asshole, and no, you're not the asshole. Let's see what some of the comments are saying. He ended up telling me that basically not wanting another kid is a deal breaker to him. I said, fine, that really sucks, but I definitely will not be changing my mind. And then the person commented back to that little section saying, well, that's good that you all came to a difficult but adult decision. And then the same person also responded to another chunk. She said, I don't know how to read these comments. The girl said, he ended the conversation by telling me, I don't know why you care about the money so much when your ex pays you child support anyway. He told me that not wanting a kid with him means that I wasn't that serious in the first place. That's not true. I forgot to address that part, but that's so clearly not true. Okay, but the person commented at that saying, record scratch. I take it back. It sounds like you are an adult, but there's a big sulky baby inside your boyfriend, and the baby started lashing out when he didn't get what he wants. Not the asshole. I'm sorry what was a promising relationship is now ending, but rest assured you're better off for it. Never stay with a person whose first reaction to disappointment is to try to hurt you. And this is why I make sure that people know I don't want kids up front. I would be so pissed off to waste 10 months of my life with someone only to learn that they want another kid so badly to the point that it's a deal breaker. While I 100% agree about being honest and upfront from the jump about big deal breakers like kids, sometimes it doesn't save you the heartache and headache. I'm child-free by choice, got with my ex-husband at 19, as was he. He told me he was 100% fine with me not wanting kids until he wasn't. 10 years later, he lost his shit on me about it, admitted he lied because all the women in his family assured him that I'd change my mind and want kids, so he kept playing along, waiting for me to do so, reinforcing the lie over and over because in his tiny mind, it was only a matter of time until my biological clock started ticking loudly, a clock alarm that my DNA never installed. I never did change my mind, and he saw 30 on the horizon and realized his mommy and aunties are GD morons. Stayed together another 6 years until I finally snapped the F out of it and snapped the F out of the sunk cost mindset and left, realizing he'd either sabotage my birth control or, what he did do, ramp up the abuse out of resentment. Point is, even if you are upfront about it, it doesn't mean he won't play the long game with lies and ruin your life. When men like that think that they can tear you down over time and see it as it justifying the means. Even if we're honest and upfront, some guys think that they know better than us women. I'd gladly have taken wasting 10 months over 10 to 16 years. I'm glad that's all OP invested in this jackwagon, and glad she stuck to her guns. She's definitely not the asshole, and she dodged a tactical nuke, in my opinion. Wow, some days I just can't really read. Like, truly, it's honestly scary how bad my reading is today. But, we can't be perfect 24/7, so... Oh, my leg is, actually broken right now. I wonder if you guys can hear my phone vibrating. It's, so loud. Why are people... It's always my boyfriend that is messaging me. I love him. Or calling me in the middle of an episode, even though obviously he doesn't know that I'm filming, but... Okay. Well, I think that's the last story that we're going to do. I hope you guys have a great day or had a great day. I don't know. Let me know what you thought about these stories, and let me know which story was your favorite. I don't know. What am I saying? I'm just hot and sweating, probably losing my mind right now because this room has no fan and no airflow. I need to get a fan really bad for this before my mom gets here, because if she's sleeping in here, she's literally gonna, have hot flashes. And we don't want that to happen. But I have to pee really bad also, and yeah, so it's obviously coming, this episode's just coming to an end. But I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of the Reddit, of our subreddit, Storytime Society subreddit, then the link is below in the description, and you can contribute however you please. You can write your own story, you can cross-post a story, you can share somebody else's story. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.